Hello there friends, Adam Proxima Smith here from multilingualadam.com. Today we're gonna cover a topic, a wide topic and mostly very important topic in language learning stages for every polyglot to be. It's how to choose a second language teacher. Maybe a third language, a fourth language, a fifth language, but still you need a teacher for that unless you're autodidactical and self-learning, self-starting kind of person. But personally, when I start to learn a new language, I prefer it to be explained to me by someone who already got there. You know, to cut to cut the chase, to basically get a shorter way to get from where I am to where I want to be. And the person who already speaks the language I want to learn is probably knowledgeable about the practices and the rules that are better to learn at the first stages of learning. I'm doing the same thing with German. It's my fourth language that I'm diving deep into learning it. Basically, I speak Russian, English, and Hebrew. I could self-start and learn with Duolingo, what I actually did for a couple of years, but it did not work very well. Duolingo is not a good platform to learn a language. It's a good platform to start tipping your toes in the water, as they say, basically to start and taste the language, how it sounds, how the grammatical rules work, what is the vocabulary you're gonna use, and how to expand it. It's just a self-starter. It's not an actual learning platform, you know. And a teacher is a guide basically. Be it a native speaker who speaks your language, who happens to speak your source language as well, or be it as someone who learned the language to a level of speaking and defining their own ideas or philosophies or etc. Basically, to a level of fluency. I mean to say, it is important to find a person that would guide you through to a point where you'll be able to continue on your own, and that is very important. So, characteristics of a good second language teacher, I guess they are patience, knowledge, patience, knowledgeableness. Is that a word? Well, I mean, being knowledgeable, and what else? Punctuality, appearing on lessons on time, and wisdom, some wisdom. Yeah, definitely wisdom. What else? Let me check here. I'm checking a blog post I wrote before. It will go in compliance in the video description where you can read it further. And connection is a good one. You need to be able to connect with your teacher. You need to find the common ground. As Dan Pena says, he's a business coach and very successful one. He says, in business, when you find yourself a coach, someone to train you, a mentor, you don't need to speak only the language of banking, for example, if you learn in banking, or trading if you're learning to be a trader, or investing that you're trying to be an investor. In our case, it's a language, for example, German. While I'm speaking German, I'm speaking about things that I have a common ground with the teacher, and it's basically house management, like staff management, and life management, like what do you eat, where do you go, stuff like that. So then Pina says you have to have a common topic with your mentor besides the business stuff to talk about and to drive all the conversations through it as a starting point. I believe it's a very wise thing to do because talking business all the time it gets boring and nobody wants to bore each other. It's boring is not a fun thing to be or to do or to feel. So You have to have a connection with your teacher. It can be computers. You can start from computer designs to what else? Botanics, like plants and stuff like that. You can talk about plants, and then you can talk about them in German, for example, or Japanese if you learn Japanese, or any other language for that matter. Well, what else? A good teacher should note the development stages in the student learning process. For example, a good teacher should realize how good you are at the language that you're trying to learn, the target language. Are you a novice, a newbie, or intermediate or advanced? And there are mistakes that should be noted by the teacher, and if you seem to realize that the teacher does not take note of the mistakes that you make, you maybe should change your teacher. And exploring different strategies and methods, I can say that I had four, no, five, five different German teachers that I practiced my German with, and one of the methods I tried to imply, or rather, like to direct into my learning, was translation of songs, translation of short videos, movies, even with subtitles, and lyrics translation, stuff like that. I like music personally because music is life, music is soul, and all multilingual people somehow connect to music very well. Well, maybe because we have developed ears, and the listening ability is enhanced, and perhaps that affects the desire to listen to better melodies or sound or stuff that sounds well. And what I can say about that is basically the ability to translate lyrics or understand movies in language. For me it's very important because it's part of a cultural transaction, a cultural exchange. And when you are able to understand the song that you hear on the radio or on Spotify, it definitely marks an achievement in your personal goals, where you want to go with the language you're learning. So there were teachers that went along with me, and helped me to translate the song, and etc etc. To tell you the truth, it wasn't a very good technique to engage in, because the teachers, they kind of the one was younger teacher, the other one was older teacher with whom I tried this technique. And the older teacher was wiser, and said that it's yet too advanced for you. You have to learn the basics. You have to learn the basic grammar. You have to learn the basic vocabulary. And to tell you the truth, the 3 years that passed since then, and then I tried it with a younger teacher, and the younger teacher was more opinionated about the song or the lyrics and stuff like that, and it showed it showed in her approach to the task, and I didn't like that. But to tell you the truth, years passed, and when I hear a song in German, I understand like maybe 5-10% of the words that being sang, and sometimes I'm even able to predict what word will be used next. So there is such a skill as well, and it's a good technique if you're well at the level of intermediate. But if you're a beginner, you probably just better just go online and find the lyrics translation to the song you're listening to. There are some sites that offer lyrics translation, or translate them by yourself with Google Translate. And what else? Good tutor or good teacher will allow students to take the responsibility for their mistakes, and the ability to self-learn, self-start. Once again, You don't have to be all self-starter, self-learner, because the teacher is not there to make you one like this, to make you be like this. Yeah, the teacher is rather to show you the shortcut to where you want to go. But the shortcut goes through hard work, because when you learn something and you learn it for real, it is a hard work. It is a lot of perspiration. Don't be desperate, but it is a lot of perspiration, because anything good in life requires a lot of hard work. And what else? How to choose a second language teacher who understands you. It's basically easy, pretty easy. You just go and find a person that shares the same values that you do, and you can do that on Italki or Ripe app, or some other variations. I suggest Italki, italki.com, as the best resource for a tutor, language tutor, because and the the application form is very rigid. It's very hard to pass. The bar is high, and the teachers there are high quality. And what else? There is a Preply, another website that you can try and find a teacher over there, but I would stick with italki.com, because the bar is high and the people are there are very nice and knowledgeable, and they know what they teach. Another approach you could try is go to a local university or college and find some course over there, you know, or find a student that studies in a linguistics course or languages course that would be able to help you to start your own education in that field of language that they are learning. There are language schools you could go. Language schools, they're pretty expensive actually, but they provide a lot of material, and a lot of it media, basically digital, and that material you can find on by yourself and for free. You can use Enki, you can use Google, and there are a lot of sites like like my website, multilingual.com, or Fluent in 3 months, which is a blog by Benny Lewis, an Irish polyglot, very good one. And reading books helps. So yeah, and it's still kind of free if you go to the library and borrow a book, or download a free book to your ebook reader. I covered in one of the previous videos where you can get a affordable ebook reader for most of the European languages and some of the Asian languages as well. It's a Kindle, Kindle ebook reader. Very good device, and affordable. $100. I mean, come on, what is it? Searching the internet for tutors and materials. As I said, Italki would be your best choice, but there is also a Ripe app. There is a Verba Planet. There is WYZent and some others. You can check them out in my blog post. And alternative to private tutors. Well, I wouldn't say it's an alternative as such, because you still need a tutor to sharpen your accent, sharpen your grammar, ask some questions here and there. Even if it's a friend that you find on interpols.net, or on Facebook, or on some other website, social media website, and you just beg them, teach me, teach me. I'm just kidding. It's a sort of exchange, because there are girls who are looking for boys who would like to learn their language, and boys looking for girls whom they would like to help. Sometimes it's romantic, sometimes it's business only. It depends on your style and what you're looking for, but there is everything for everyone, so you can find just about anything online, and whatever works best for you, go with it. So, extra or complementary resources for learning a language with a tutor would be websites like Duolingo, but I don't recommend Duolingo unless you're a beginner, fresh beginner. Like you said, today I'm starting to learn French, and you don't know an ounce about French or whatever, whatsoever. You go to Duolingo and you start your few courses, few lessons, and then you say, now I know a bit of French, but it's like 0.1% of the entire language that you should be able to use in order to communicate in French. But it's a start. It's free. It's definitely free, and it's a start. As a complementary to that, I would recommend mondly.com. It's also covered in the blog post. You can scroll down and find the link to it. It's an affiliate link. I need to make some duh. Just kidding. It's an affiliate link nonetheless. But anyway, Mondly, I highly recommend it, and because of that, it is an affiliate link, definitely. Yeah, but other ways to go are Rocket Languages. You can find some ads on my site for that as well, and the free version of all that, of finding a tutor and having a complementary to a tutor. Well, interpals.net, I believe. Yeah, interpals.net is where you can find friends from all over the world and start chatting with them, trying to chat them into helping you learn a language. But you should be friendly. You shouldn't just go there and say, hey, teach me Japanese because I want to learn, senpai, or something along the lines. You should rather be, hey, hello, how are you? How's life in Japan? How's the COVID-19 going there? And you should be all outgoing, like really find a reason to make a friend in them, and then try to switch to, okay, could you give me a lesson or two in Japanese? Because I'm really finding it hard to understand this grammatical aspect of it. And then they will gladly agree to do that and devote some of their time to you. So because you're already friends, why not to help a friend? And there is no good reason not to help a friend. So I guess, especially when the help is free and free of charge. So I definitely don't see a good or bad reason not to help a friend. And that's one. Number two is getting books. I don't know, like uh, just maybe a month ago, I discovered that there is a well, how to call it even. There is a firm or publishing house on Amazon that does books with text translation. Like if you want to learn Japanese or German, you have a text in German and then the same text in English translated, and you can read a book in such a manner with text in target language and with text in source language. There is a firm doing just that in the Russian sphere, where the source language is Russian and the target language is whatever you can find, and they are called Franca method Ilya Franca, and the English version of that that I found on Amazon. Let me check just a moment. I'll tell you what it is. I'm checking on my computer. Lingua Mastery, they call themselves. Lingua Mastery, a company that produces books with a translation to English and whatever. A book, for example, if you learn German, there is a text in German in it, simple text, but yet challenging enough to learn. And then there is a translation to English. I believe there are similar services in every other language that you have as a source language: Spanish, Italian, Chinese. But you have to search for them. Method Franca is very famous. That Lingua Mastery is having quite a following on Amazon. I'm not sure about the rest of the languages, but you can look around and try to find something like that. That's for complimentary. Well, this is the end of the video. I covered everything I had in the post, and you can check the post itself. It's quite a short read, about 5 minutes read, maybe 10 minutes read if you're a really slow reader. And I'm just adding the link in the description, so it would be easier for you to find it. So like, share, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff every other YouTuber says on YouTube video. Thank you for watching and have a great time lernen Sprache, neue Sprache. Danke, auf Wiedersehen.